Very much. Thank you to Via Libre colleagues. Hello, everyone. It's great to be here. My name is Masha Glavanieska. I am a senior program officer. I work with the Community Engagement Strategic Initiative. I'm here to talk about short-term technical assistance opportunities that are available through the Community Engagement SI to support communities as they launch their preparations for the NFM4 funding request development process. So first, just a couple of words about the strategic initiative itself. So the goal and the objective of our SI is really to strengthen engagement of civil societies and communities in Global Fund and related national processes. And when we talk about engagement, we don't just mean at the early stages, right, at the stages of developing funding requests, but we really mean engagement across the entire grant life cycle. So from design of the funding request to implementation and oversight. So that's in a nutshell what the SI is designed to do. Now, how do we do this? We have three mutually reinforcing components. So component one is the short-term peer-to-peer technical assistance, and it's in the context of this work that we're going to be talking about, NFM4 TA. Component two is the long-term support to key and vulnerable population networks. It's support that we offer over the course of 3 years. We also support 2 engagement funds for women and girls. And component three is our support to regional civil society platforms for communication and coordination, or known simply as CRG regional platforms. For this specific instance, Via Libre is our partner. So those are the three SI components that we work with. So as communities begin to think about how they would like to engage in the NFM4 planning processes as these get underway, as countries begin to plan country dialogues and the preparation begins, we've kind of outlined three key tracks or categories for the kind of support we're able to offer. So if you've worked with us before and you've applied for technical assistance from us before, some of these might already look familiar. It's not that different, but there are a couple of adaptations which I will talk about. So the first track is really about identifying needs and generating strategic information and evidence to enable communities to inform NFM4 funding request development. This could be about doing a rapid assessment around the needs of the community of people living with HIV in country X, or it could be about barriers to accessing services for community of people who inject drugs. These are rapid assessments, and they have to be kind of quite focused in order to be able to kind of generate the kind of evidence that would be robust and would be able to influence the funding request. The track A2 is the next one, the NFM3 program review. So this is really to help communities to gather community perspectives on the current grant implementation, to understand what's going well, where are the gaps, what could be done better. And again, this is done with the goal of collecting feedback and recommendations for the next funding request. So that kind of support is also available through us. Now, track B is probably something that is quite familiar already. It's really helping communities to engage in the NFM4 country dialogue processes. And here we're talking about face-to-face community consultations or virtual community consultations. We know that during C19RM, we met virtually and actually worked out quite well. So we are able to also work in a hybrid setting. The track B2 is really about coordinating input into at the stage of grant making, or for instance, if communities would like to review the draft funding requests or grant making documents, This is after submitting the initial priorities to the writing team. So that kind of lighter touch review could also be requested through us. And then track C, this is new, and this is around costing support. So we heard from communities during the C19RM process that not having the support and the resources and the guidance for costing some of the community-led interventions was proved to be a real obstacle in submitting strategic, robust priorities that will be then taken up and included in the funding requests. So this time around, we are offering both virtual mentorship. So for instance, if the consultants or communities already have an idea and they just would like some kind of a review of what they already have and feedback, so that we could arrange that. Or if there's no costing consultants in the country, no costing support available for communities, and they need it to kind of be done from scratch, we can provide in-depth in-country support in a limited set of countries. So we're really going to have to kind of we're really going to have to prioritize, but that kind of support is also available. So big question, when to submit a TA request to us. And this is really important. So we now know the NFM4 funding request submission windows. We know that countries that will be submitting in window 1, they will look to submit their funding requests by the end of March 2023. Countries that are submitting in window 2 will be submitting by the end of May, and window 3 by the 3rd week of August. So what we're asking communities is to try to get clarity around when their country is planning to submit, and then count backwards 6 months. And this is because we as an SI need approximately 2 months to mobilize TA and contracts and to put a team of consultants together. Then you count about 3 months for implementation, for TA implementation. And then you need about 1 month to actually apply and use the deliverables. So all in all, we're really looking at a 6-month kind of buffer, I suppose. So there's one thing you're going to remember from this presentation is try and submit a TA request to us at least 6 months before your country's selected NFM4 window. And again, if you do not currently know when your country is planning to submit, you can reach out to the CCM, or you can reach out to Via Libre, and they can help bring in this information. So in terms of the TA request form, I believe Anwar is going to go through with it, and I know that Via Libre has developed an excellent tool for how to fill out the TA request, how to request the TA itself. So the first and the most important thing is to, if you're considering applying for TA, please reach out to Via Libre for assistance. They will be able to guide you to provide the right TA request form, because we've adapted it. So we're using new TA forms. They will be able to help work with you and clarify the objectives of the TA. You'll also see once you go through the TA request form is that there are set TA tracks, and for every TA track, you just have to choose one or two, for instance. You can prioritize, and you'll see that underneath each track, there will be already a pre-populated set of activities. So you do not have to kind of wonder, okay, well, what goes under each of these tracks? That is already kind of there for you. But what you are going to have to do is you're really going to have to think, okay, what is my priority right now? Is it around generating evidence? Is it around doing a program review? Is it around consultations? Because we have a limited set of resources, we're really asking partners and communities to really kind of focus and avoid selecting kind of every single track that is in the TA request form, but really kind of narrow it down. You'll see that in the TA request form itself, there are various sort of guiding questions or prompts in red. They help you in completing the form. They kind of steer you towards the information that would be really useful to include. Again, we will ask you to indicate the expected NFM4 submission window in the form. And finally, I will sound like a broken record, but please remember to submit your TA request form at least 6 months before your country's NFM4 window. And again, if you have any questions, you can reach out to Via Libre, especially to get the TA request form, or you can reach out to us. You have our email address right there. We will still connect you to Via Libre, but that is another way to get some support. This is our page, our website, where you can get more information around the TA providers that we work with, what a strong, high quality TA request looks like. The example that you'll have there is still kind of our regular TA request, not NFM4 specific, but it still gives you a good, I think, indication of what to kind of orient yourself towards. And then we've created these animated videos. One is about the TA itself and one is about the SI. We really worked hard. We think they're great. So we really encourage you to go and check them out when you have a moment. And there's this link to the community engagement page that has all this information. And I believe Via Libre will circulate this presentation in Spanish, if I'm not mistaken. So you will have all of these resources with you. And these are just the emails and the contacts of the CRG, the 6 CRG regional platforms that we work with. And you'll see that the Via Libre's email address is on there as well. So that's all I wanted to share. I'm going to stop and pass it over to our Via Libre colleagues. Thank you.